Devastation, and Terry McAuliffe has headed to 2KI for us a year on to see how the locals are rebuilding. And Terry, what is the latest?
Thanks, Kate. And I'm with Michael Pengilly, the Mayor of Kangaroo Island. And Michael, we're coming off the back of a really challenging 12 months.
Oh, it's been very tough. It wasn't bad enough to have the fires. We had COVID thrown on the top of it, but we've got through. We're a very resilient community and everyone's pulled together, done some amazing things, and we're still going, and we'll come out the other side. It'll take a while to get back out the West End, but we'll make it.
It's a word I hear so often used here on the island, community.
Yes, we're a very strong community. When we have a blue, we have a good one, but by and large, it's been fantastic the way it's pulled together. It's pulled sports clubs together, footy teams, everyone it's pulled together, so it's really been good.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. When you think about, we're at the race club, but you think about other sport and recreation, what did it mean for football clubs and netball clubs, which are so important for community life?
Yeah, they are. They're critical for us. That's our entertainment, particularly during the winter with footy and netball. We had junior football and junior netball last year, but because of COVID, we didn't play the senior ranks. Now, I think there was around 36 footballers went away and played on the mainland, on the Fleurieu. They're playing cricket out there again this year. They're back in tennis. But yeah, that's the strength of the community, I think. We basically punched the fires and COVID in the nose and said we're going to make it.
After the fires immediately, obviously, you know, it was a lot of black to be seen, but the locals spoke to of a real eerie silence in the bush and the surroundings.
Yes, it was. I went down the south coast a couple of days after the fire and I stopped, and there wasn't any noise. There was no birds, there was no animals, there was no wind, and it was completely eerie, as you say, and yeah, it was quite bizarre.
But 12 months on, we do see that regeneration, and the birds are back and they're singing again, and the animals are back in large numbers as well.
Yes, they are. Within 3 weeks, we went out, I took my wife out west, and the birds were back where it was all burnt. There was the odd roo running around, goannas, echidnas survived, they were there. So the Australian bush and the Australian wildlife's got a phenomenal capacity to recharge itself and get on with it.
Well, Michael, it's been great catching up with you on racing.com. And Kate, when we return, we're going to catch up with the Secretary-Treasurer of the Kangaroo Island Racing Club, Greg Miller.
Oh, thanks very much, Terry, and great to hear from Michael there as well. It's time for a break here on racing.com. We go to it with a story that touched our hearts in the wake of the Kangaroo Island fires, about a horse that survived against all the odds.
So the fire wasn't coming towards us originally, and it was going away from us, and it's a new property, so we hadn't had time to sort of set up all our fire stuff, and we were like, we're going to be okay, it's going away from us the whole day. And then the wind changed, and within 2.5 hours of that wind change, we had flames across the top of the hill, and we sort of realised it was serious and we were in trouble. We saw the flames coming, and Finn said, look, we've got to go if we're going to make it out alive. So we put Kiwi in a paddock because we couldn't get him on the float, he wouldn't go earlier. So I had 3 horses in a 2-horse float. And so we put him in the paddock and sort of said, good luck, buddy, we love you. Once we'd left, we rang a neighbour who had also said he was staying, and Dad said to him, is there going to be anything left? And Mick said, there's not going to be anything from what he saw. There were no CFS because they couldn't get out here in time. We then came to the conclusion overnight that everything we'd worked for was gone and that Kiwi was gone, and we'd hoped that if he was gone, he'd just gone quickly and he wasn't suffering. Somehow, no one was with him, no one here. They think the CFS came afterwards and sort of wet down around the outside of his paddock in case it came back, but every paddock around him is gone, and he was just standing there waiting for someone to come and get him. We love him to bits. He's a challenge at times. He can certainly be hard work, but no, he's the orange horse of my dreams, and we've had a lot of fun together.
12 months on from the fires that lay waste to half the island, it's easy to see the damage all around. Much was lost, including lives. The real cost of it is all still being measured. South Australian jockey Erin Boyd's parents run the Pandana Bakery and Cafe.
Families, a lot of them, and still are living rough. People are still in caravans, some people are tenting it. There's just not enough accommodation to cater for everyone. So some people are still doing it very, very rough a year afterwards.
Physically, the environment will take some time to get back to what it was. For the people of KI though, the mental scars may take even longer to heal. Stokes Bay farmers Simon and Madeline Kelly are trying to rebuild in an area heavily hit.
We were very lucky. We just got back in time when the fire hit to save both houses, my son's house as well. And if we hadn't got back, we would have lost them for sure.
Rip it out the front.
That's going through the pantry.
A lot of our neighbours did lose their houses, and yeah, I was saying earlier, there's probably 10 which surround this property which are all gone. We lost 5,000 out of 9,000 sheep. We lost all our fencing. It's about 100 kilometres of fencing. We lost 4 sheds, and the main one was our shearing shed. After the fire, it was very eerie.
It's the resilience, yeah, it's amazing. And I think people that have been visiting the island are really appreciating getting to see that's driving on the island at the moment. It's wonderful.
What unbelievable resilience. And they've also had to...
I knew that, you know, we had a 6-horse truck and a 3-horse float sitting at the stables not being used, so just tried to use social media to the best of our advantage.
What they were doing, I mean, the main sort of street near our stables is the Lavington Fire